Hello, geeks, freaks, and all those unique. This is EmceeFrodis. We're blasting into the future with Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. We're talking about Episode 5 of Season 3, which is Die Trying. So in this episode, we finally reached the Federation. Eventually we'll have an episode of Star Trek Discovery where I don't cry. This was not that episode. Just right at the very beginning as they're coming in, and they're just amazed by everything that's happening, seeing all of the ships, seeing the, newest version of Voyager. That was just so exciting. I couldn't deal with it. And I didn't notice this at the time, but it was later pointed out that one of the ships was the USS Nog, and not only that, it was an Eisenberg-class ship. That I can't deal with it. Like, please do not talk to me about Kurtzman not respecting continuity if, he's naming one of the ships after Nog. That's so beautiful. And I got all teary to find out that Saru's people, the Kelpians, were members of the Federation, even though they haven't seen them in a long time. I love that they eventually joined the Federation. It's so great to see Oded Fair playing the new Admiral Vance. I love Oded Fair, and he's looking great. Nice Silver Fox action going on from him. Those members of the Mummy cast, that's the amount of continuity we got when everybody was having their interviews done. In particular, I loved when Culber was talking about dying and just like, oh, my murderer and I are fine now. That was I love what they're doing with Culber this season. They really seem to have gotten a handle on his character and are really giving him a lot of stuff to do. I mean, granted, last season, a lot of it was him suffering from the PTSD of dying, but now they're really bringing him out, and I love it. I love it so much. I love Wilson Cruz. Probably the most interesting thing about the conversations, the debriefing of the Discovery crew, was what happened with Georgiou and her debriefing, which was done by David Cronenberg. Like, I don't get what is with these, sci-fi shows and getting, like, these really offbeat directors to act in them, because we had Werner Herzog over on The Mandalorian last season, and now we have David Cronenberg in Discovery this season, and he was great. I thought there was this really interesting dynamic between him and Georgiou. I was a little uncomfortable with how cool it was. I like Georgiou being able to figure out how to disrupt the holograms, and just seeing the holograms. I don't know if all of the AIs at the Federation were holograms, but certainly they called them AIs. So I like that from the time of Picard to, the 32nd century, there's been AIs have been, reaccepted again. So I like that. So it'll be interesting to see how exactly we get there. But Georgiou being able to disrupt the holograms just by blinking at them, that's, my Georgiou crush remains intact. Like, that's just, like, super smart, and I love it. I liked finding out more about the Mirror Universe and them being able to figure out right away that she's Terran. And it looks like the last time there was any crossover was when they had it on Deep Space Nine. It's been 500 years, they said, so I guess that would be about the time of the Emperor's New Cloak, and Georgiou finding out that the Terran Empire is no more, which we, of course we knew. We've known that for a long time, but it was really interesting to see, and I don't know if that's exactly what disturbed Georgiou, or if it's that she's never going to go home, or, maybe something else. Obviously, we're going to find out more. I think it's very interesting. I was wondering if Cronenberg's character, who I don't know if they actually gave him a proper name. If he's a member of Section 31, that would kind of make sense to me. And they are still talking about, I don't think, I feel like Georgiou is still getting her own show, for Section 31. And if that's the case, if they're going to make that a futuristic show, then maybe that'll make sense if he's trying to recruit her into the futuristic Section 31. The main part of the story is that Michael wants to get the favor of the Federation so that they don't split up the Discovery crew by there's a bunch of aliens that have contracted some sort of plague, and Michael believes that they've come into contact with something that infected them, and they end up figuring out what it is, and the only way to cure it is by finding an uninfected version of the plant that they ingested. And there is a seed vault ship that has a sample of this plant, so they need to find it, and so Michael, Culber, and Nahn go to find this seed vault, which is there's a family on it that's Nahn's people. So for the first time, she gets to take off her her breathing apparatus because the ship's been keyed to her environment, which I thought was interesting, and finding out just how different the breathing environment is, the fact that the plants grow really quickly in that particular chemical composition atmosphere. This was the episode where we got to hear find out the most about this character, and I know some people will be like, oh, well, that's because she's leaving, but she was just upgraded to the main cast, so I think that this is just a temporary measure. I think that, we got to know her a little bit, and we'll see more of her later on. It definitely did not feel like a goodbye from this character. So this ship has gone through a lot, and the most of the family on board have been killed, and only the doctor, the father of the family, is still alive, and he's gone out of phase with our reality because he was actually teleporting in when they passed by a star that kind of let out this radiation, and it disrupted him and killed his family immediately. And basically Michael and Nahn and Culber have to get him to accept the fact that his family is dead. And it was interesting to see how different species react to things such as death, and finding out more about Nahn's people and more about Nahn herself. And I think a lot of what was going on was relating to her going to the future. I mean, she said that, she wished she had gone home before they'd gone to the future, and wondering, what her family thought of finding out that she had been quote unquote killed. So, it was a deep episode. I think this episode felt a lot more like classic, like Next Generation era Star Trek than Discovery has felt. And I liked that. Definitely I like that Discovery is its own thing. But this had a really nice feel to it. A let's do this one mission thing, while also dealing with this underlying character issue that kind of relates to the mission that's going on. That's very classic. It sounds weird to say classic modern Trek. But yeah, that's very much what it is, and I liked seeing that, and I liked that we're getting Discovery accepted into the 32nd century version of the Federation, and with Admiral Vance, because I hope he stays around, because Oded Fehr is looking fine. I don't want to keep him around. There was some really great stuff in this episode. I love Jet being debriefed and wanting food and just kind of eating nachos. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to need something to drink. Michael had very little to do in this episode again. I felt that she was downplayed in favor of other people taking center stage. And I really don't mind that. As much as I love Michael as a character, I think that they're starting to get a handle on Michael is the main character and will certainly be central to everything that's going on, but we can have important stuff from other characters. That's more what I'm seeing now. I loved the subplot going on with Owosakun and Detmer. Detmer has obviously had a lot going on in the last couple of episodes with her PTSD, but seeing Owosakun acknowledging this pain that she's going through and just telling her that's like, it's gonna be okay, like you can do this. I completely ship them. I'm not even going to apologize for it. I just get major girlfriend vibes from them, and even if they're not together, I just love the friendship between them. And it's not like it took up too much of the episode, but I do like that kind of each episode that's happening, they're acknowledging that this pain that the characters have gone through. So all in all, this was a really good episode. It wasn't as emotionally draining on me as last week's episode, but it was a really solid episode, and I love that they're back with the Federation, and I think we're moving towards a very interesting season, finding out more about what happened with the burn, and there does seem to be several theories as to what happened, and hopefully we'll eventually find out what it is. I'm liking what they're doing with Discovery this season, and I can't wait to see more of it. So comment down below to tell me what you thought of Die Trying. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. You can also support me by going to Patreon or buying me a coffee. You can also, if you want something to wear, go to my Redbubble or TeePublic. Today I'm wearing my Star Trek Bisexual Pride shirt, which if you've seen any of my Star Trek videos before, you should be used to me wearing. I really wish I had more Star Trek shirts. CBS, reopen your fan art submissions. So, until next time, live long and may the Force be with you. Thanks to these patrons for keeping the lights on around here. I very much appreciate all of the help from you guys. So if you want to keep watching more of my videos, click on my cartoon face over there and you can go directly to my channel and check things out.